All right, what's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to another episode, man. I'm live with my co-host right here, Alvon Bacon, the Bacon Network, man. We're gonna be talking to Prince Avenue quarterback, man. Prince Aminu, man. He's a star in the making. Does a lot of great things, man. Before you bring it on, Bacon, how you doing today?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. I can't complain. We talking to Woodward's quarterback, Woodward Academy at College Park.
Yes, sir. Certainly, man. Talking to Woodward quarterback, man. So without further ado, let's go and bring him on.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, Prince? How's everything?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just left practice.
How practice go?
It's pretty good. It was gentle. I mean, we didn't really do too much today. We just prepared for Friday.
For sure.
Go ahead, Bacon. I'll let you take it away.
For sure. Look like you got a little game and type of setup, man. Got the lights on in the back, man. What you got going on in the showroom?
Yeah. I got quarterback of the year right here.
Yeah.
And I got a leadership award right there.
Okay. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's always high marks. We're going to go ahead and high by into it, but I'm not going to beat around the bush because it's a lot that comes with Mook, a.k.a. Prince Aminu, a.k.a. Mook. So we're going to start with that name, man. Where did you get the name Mook from, bro?
I actually got the name from my auntie when I was younger. I don't know where it came from, but they just started calling me that.
For sure. See them. So do you like it? You like did it kind of grow on you? It was cool.
I mean, everybody call me that now. It's either Prince or Mook. So I prefer Mook, to be honest.
100%.
But a lot of people don't know I have two first names. So my first name is Prince Amari.
Prince Amari. That's cold, you know. So you don't meet too many people that's got either Prince or King. So to have that name, man, obviously it's got a high expectation. So what does it mean to have that type of name, and how do you walk daily to live up to that type of name?
I just gotta know every time I walk out the house, there's a camera on me. Gotta know how to take leadership. I mean, really just represent for my family. The last name on my back, Aminu. I had an uncle in the NBA. I had two actually, Afro Aminu and Alade Aminu. So it's really just representing my last name, walking out the house. It's always know it's on. Click on.
For sure. Now you talked about Unc. You know what I'm saying? Can you hoop too? Are you strictly football? For sure, it's high, but it's a lot of people that's got all their eggs in one basket. But you got the sweatshirt on, the pullover, man. Just talk about the partnership with Zenith, man. How did that come about?
I mean, it was great. It first started with the helmet. They wanted to give me a helmet, and after that, my dad just took control over the messages. It just came with hard work, knowing how to talk, knowing like just how to just work, be a leader. So it's a great opportunity. I'm grateful. Happy to be a part of Zenith.
100%. Now you got the special helmet, man. Talk a little bit about what is the name, what is the name of that helmet, and what does it do to prevent you from having?
All right. So the name of the helmet is Zenith Orbit Pro. It just came out, so only NFL players have it, like special people. So to have it is just great. I mean, the helmet has extra padding in it. Not so many people get concussions. It just feels good.
100%. And this, was all to transpire with my goodness, with Tua. So just kind of what's your mindset just on concussions, or just any advice to any other athletes on concussion preventative?
Well, my advice mainly to quarterbacks is if you ever get out the pocket, get down. I mean, get as many yards as you can, get down. Either slide or fall forward. I prefer falling forward. You get more yards. So.
For sure. Now, because you've been doing this for a while, man. Last year you got the 8th grade quarterback of the year award. Alex born to compete right up there on the wall, man. So just talk a little bit about, man, what's your process has been like to get to this point from a young lad playing with the Rare Breeds, even before then to get that award.
So I started playing football around 6 years old, I could say. Started with the Atlanta Tigers. So from there, I used to play quarterback and corner, and I made like a viral hit stick on my page. It was good. And then I kind of transitioned to 7U ABA, and then from there, I think 8U to 10U, I played with CDJ. And then my process really started 11U through 13U with Red Breeds. Coach Mark, he put a great expectation on me. He knew what I can do, and he put me in the right place. going to nationals, losing, but it was a great opportunity. I can say that. And then going into my 8th grade year at Woodward Academy, I had a great season. One of my main wide receivers was Langston Akeem. We had a great connection. Me and him probably had over 1,000 passing yards, like just us together. So just from that to getting quarterback of the year award, just like it's just great. I'm grateful.
100%. You had like 500 yards last year, one game, or 5 TDs. Yeah. So, I think you kind of resemble like a Jaden Daniels type of caliber quarterback. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
So, like, who do you kind of watch growing up? Who kind of get you? Where do you get your inspiration from?
As far as NFL, I'll say CJ Stroud. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He has the IQ on and off the field. He's just a smart football player. He knows where he's going throughout his reads, processing the field, not forcing any balls, anything like that. And as far as college, I can name 3 quarterbacks that's like just mind-blowing right now. Cam Ward is number 1. I say Shedeur Sanders and Gabe Gabriel. Gabe Gabriel was a quarterback at Oregon, and Shedeur. And Shedeur, he has a lot. Cam Ward, he's nonchalant. He takes the time in the pocket. He doesn't. He processes everything. He doesn't rush. He just get the ball out. Shedeur, he has the mind. He doesn't, just like Cam Ward, do a threat. He doesn't force anything. And Gabe Gabriel, he's an arm strength. He'll get the ball out there for wide receivers.
So, next question is, on the field, you just named those quarterbacks with those different characteristics. Who was the mook on the field, and what is your vibe, brother?
Wait, repeat that question for me.
So you talked about Cam Moore, how he's more nonchalant, and Shedeur. Who are you on the field, and what's your vibe like? You know what I'm saying?
I'm more of a Shedeur. I mean, I take my time in the pocket. If I gotta run, I'll run. But as far as being a pocket passer, I have the IQ to know where I'm going. Like before the play, pre-snap reads. So if I have a concept to the left, I'm gonna read the concept to the left first, and if it's not open, I'll go to the right side of the field. And if that's not there, I'll run the ball. So it's just a matter of knowing where you're going, processing, having an IQ.
All right, so this is off the cuff right here, man. So you got some talented receivers at Woodward Academy. Say you playing at a caliber similar to Garretson, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't really miss you're playing some good man DBs. Just say they got one good safety that's playing cover 2 man concept. Let's say inside leverage within the 20. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if I need to give you more information. But from that information I've given you, what's your mind? What's your process?
All right, so they're playing cover 2 man.
Yep.
Elite
corners now.
Elite corners, of course. So got to get the ball out quick. He's playing inside leverage. If I'm on the boundary side of the field and he's playing inside leverage and he's pressing, I'm gonna throw a quick fade, backside shoulder, or just over the shoulder. If I'm playing to the field, I can run a slant bubble concept. So the slant would just take the inside, the overhang, I should say, the overhang. Then I'll throw the slant bottom.
Slant bottom. You like that?
Yeah.
100%, brother. 100%. One more question, and I'm gonna throw it to Naj, man. Everybody has raved, and I'm saying, obviously, rightfully so, raved about your X's and O intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Coach Hill, Alex Benson, QB Marcus. So who kind of helped you? You know what I'm saying? Gain this knowledge, and about how many hours per week do you watch film?
So who really started like just me knowing everything? Enrico Hines. He's currently the head coach at Berkmar High School. I've been training with him since I was about 9 years old. So just gaining all the knowledge from him, going to trainings, to he coming to my house, getting on the board, knowing concepts, knowing like just everything. And what was that second question?
I asked. I think you pretty much answered it. I asked, how many hours a week of film do you watch?
So I normally after school or after practice, I could look at 1 or 2 games of the team that we're about to play. And then from there, I just rest my mind. And then before the game, the quarterbacks and the coaches, we have a mandatory meeting, and we just watch film with them. So I'll say hours, probably like 1.5 every day.
1.5 every day? So like 7, maybe about 10 a week, or give or take. Go ahead, Nash.
For you, Prince, coming into this season, where do you feel like your game is taking maybe the biggest steps compared to where you were last year, being eighth grade player of the year, quarterback of the year, according to most great analysts in our state?
So as far as eighth grade year, I was the guy. I mean, I started. I played every game. I played well. And as far as transitioning to high school, of course, it's a senior right now starting. So right now, I'm just getting all the knowledge from the big guys. Really getting the IQ from the quarterback. If I have any questions, I'll ask him. So it's really getting all the mental reps behind him and just getting ready to be the next year starter.
What are some things that Landon Walker, who is the starter for them right now, as you guys just want to reach a championship against Decatur? What are some things he's teaching you right now as you learn from him?
Like I said, getting out of the pocket, getting down. He takes a lot of hits because he runs. He's a dual threat, so he takes a lot of hits. So he just tell me get down. He tell me just take my time in the pocket, don't rush anything. If it's not there, just take your time, read. If you're getting any pressure, escape the pocket or make a move to get him off of you, throw the ball. So like first read is to throw the ball. Second is just to run.
Now, Moot, tell me about some receivers. I don't want to talk about the ones everybody knows. Jerome Bettis Jr., Notre Dame commit, right? Obviously, Josiah Abdullah, Virginia commit. But who's some guys you're going to be throwing the ball to here in the future, Prince, that a lot of people don't know about that we should keep kind of an eye on?
Blake Stewart, he's the guy. He plays corner and wide receiver, starts on both, doesn't get off the field. He's like a Travis Hunter, I could say. Definitely like a Travis Hunter. He's good. We have another wide receiver. He's a freshman, Langston Akeem, that I told you about eighth grade year. I forgot his last name. His name is Zayden. He's number 11. He's good. And then another wide receiver I can say is his name is Cameron. He's a sophomore. Pretty fast, small. He's small, but he's fast. Great routes. He plays with C1N. So those are some wide receivers for the next year, upcoming years that I'm gonna be throwing to.
All right, now let's test. I know your football acumen is very good, but let's test a little bit. Now, he asked you about cover 2. I'm going to bring cover 3 to you. Now, I've been learning from some players some things to beat that. For you getting cover 3, but you're getting a late blitz from the middle linebacker coming down, right? Now, you don't see it. He disguises it well, like he's dropping in the coverage. But then he's coming on you, bat out of hell, kind of coming down. What's your read on that play? Cover 3, but a weak side blitzer from the linebacker. What would you do on that play?
So cover 3 concepts. I mean, the it's to get the ball out quick. So we have a play called Q99Q. It's just a slot fade and then quick, like I said, we're a screen. But if the slot fade is not there, the quick will go in like a slant, and then we'll just dump the ball right over him. So we're replacing where he came from.
And talk about that real quick for those that don't know, because I've been watching this a lot, and you see on the collegiate level and the pro level, it's always to throw where that blitz is coming from because it's going to be wide open. Talk about why that's important to throw it there, even though that blitz is coming from that area.
I mean, all it is, you're just replacing where he came from. If you were throwing a slant and he came for a blitz, you would throw the slant. If he sat and it was a slant and it's a bubble, you'll throw the bubble because he's just sitting there. But as far as like knowing where to go in blitzes, always replace the blitz.
I heard that right there. It's free game right there. Game is free. Always replace the blitz, as he just said. Okay. All right, man. Let me ask you this. What is your favorite route concept to throw? Do you like a post corner? Do you like the slant? What's your favorite one?
You said it first, scissors. Post corner. I like the slot fades with the slants. I like a post with a dig come behind it. Also like smash concept. It's easy. Curl and corner. Stuff like that. And all hitches. All hitches is getting yardage.
100%. What advice would you tell others, Prince, that was in your same situation? The guy, as you said, in 8th grade, but had to come in and learn and kind of take that step back. We see that a lot in college too. Guys that are guy in high school got to wait a year and then eventually get their chance. What would you tell other athletes to not be frustrated if they have to go through the same kind of thing?
It's just taking adversity. I mean, you just get the mental reps. Like he's a senior right now, so next year I'll be a 3-year starter. So it's right now just getting mental reps. Just knowing where to go with the ball, learning the playbook. As far as that, just getting ready to play.
100%. For you, why do you do this, Prince? What is your kind of your motivation, your inspiration? Why you go out on the field every single Friday night and lay it all on the line? Why is this something that you love to do?
I mean, I've been doing it since I was 6, so I love the sport. I mean, I've been doing it all my life. So all the hard work, waking up 5 in the morning playing in mud bowls. I mean, all that is dedication. So I wouldn't want to let off the gas and stop. So I'm gonna keep going so I make it to the big league.
Last one before I throw it back to Bacon. What's been your favorite moment over your career so far? I know it's still very early. I know you still got to make a lot of more noise, but what's been your favorite moment so far?
My favorite moment right now is probably 8U playing in mud bowls. It's taking over, playing in the rain, running all over them. That was a fun moment in my life. So if I can go back, I would.
So definitely cherish those moments, man. You're 14 years old, like Nah just alluded to. Have already accomplished a lot of great things. 8th grade QB MVP at the Under Armour camp. Like I said, already 8th grade quarterback of the year award, already 2 offers under your belt, man. So have you just had any time to just sit back and just like take it all in, just how much success you've came into?
Of course, I pray every night, getting closer to God. I mean, it's just a blessing. It's a blessing.
Well said, brother. Any advice, man? I know it's kind of like a dead horse at this point. But just you know what I'm saying, you got a couple NIL, I ain't gonna say NIL, but you got a couple brand partnerships. Just for any kids that's gonna see this, what advice would you give them outside of just obviously performing well on the field, but just how to carry themselves on and off the field?
I say on and off the field, just you get out, turn the switch on. Like just always know that somebody's looking at you. You wouldn't want to make the wrong mistake and jeopardize everything you have done throughout your whole life. Just knowing like you have good grades, of course, doing good in school, all that matters. If a college coach was to come to your school, they're going to ask your teachers about you. So making good relationship with teachers, students, everything like that. So just turning the switch on when you get out in the real world.
For sure. One more question, maybe 2, before we talk a little bit about your recruiting, my friend. Just, you know what I'm saying, you live a busy lifestyle. What is your work? What is your practice and then schoolwork balance? How do you manage your time?
So schoolwork comes first. I mean, football comes after that. So school is during the day. Then practice comes right after that. So when I get home, I just do all my homework, prepare for school. If I have a test next day, I'll study all night. And then Thursday night, I get ready for the game.
All night was like, it's like 10, 11?
10, 11, yeah.
10, 11. Are you reading any books?
Gotta rest my mind.
That's right. Free game for the young bulls, man. You try to study, cram, stay up to 1 or 2, and may go well, but it works better when you're saying get that 6 to 8 hours of sleep, man. But my friend, are you reading any books right now?
I'm reading a book called Legend. I read a book called Ghost over a track series. Those are 2 main books right now.
Okay. And so the recruiting, man. First offer was Morehouse. Just how's that going? You know what I'm saying? What's the relationship like with the guys at the house?
They're good. The guy who offered me is Coach Outlaw. I used to train with him, weightlifting.
Mhm.
Great coach. I mean, this is great. And then of course Georgia State. I mean, I went to summer camp over there, and then I went to unofficial game visit over there. So that was pretty good.
How serious are you looking at Georgia State? You know, Del McGee's over there. You know, so they had a big win over Vanderbilt this season. I know it's still early in your recruiting process, but just do you think that Georgia State is a serious contender right now?
Of course. I mean, this is one of my main offers right now, so
yeah,
got to take that in consideration.
100%. But you did go to UGA. You know what I'm saying, a couple weeks ago, and you know what I'm saying. The quarterback coach, you had a good rapport with him, and I believe Coach Mike Bobo as well. So
yeah. So I also have a offer. Well, Clark, Georgia State, and Morehouse.
Okay.
So those are my 3 right now. But I recently just went to Georgia. Got a great relationship with Coach Bobo, Coach Gummy. The game was electric. I mean, I went to the locker room. I went on the turf. It was great. Great coaches.
So favorite part of the visit was the field.
Nah, great opportunity was the locker room after the game. But coach said, Kobe Smart said, like, just know that, like, this is not the last game. We still got to be prepared for next week. Take this time in that you won, and then get ready to come practice tomorrow. That's what he said. So just getting ready. But of course, like, going to the locker room after the game, that's the best part.
So in your words, just try just kind of what's the feel when you're around, you know what I'm saying, that type of environment, Coach Smart, you know what I'm saying, you getting goosebumps, or you chill like, yeah, I'm gonna be here, or this is a opportunity that I can see myself in, whether it's there, Georgia State, Clark Morehouse, or
This
anywhere
is
else.
an opportunity to get my mind right. Of course, I got jitters when I seen the flames coming out the entrance
Sure.
when it was coming out, all that stuff. It's just a matter of, like, I know I'm gonna be here one day, so just get my mind ready.
100%. Now, you got anything?
Yes. So, Prince, on the actually, you talked about C1N earlier. So, will you be suing up with them again this year, or will you be kind of making a different move?
Huncho.
Huncho. Okay, I know you had said like you had seen one of the players that's on your team play with C1N. Okay, you were Huncho. So, talk about that experience playing with them, man, and how that's helped you as well.
Coach Parlay and I say Auntie Niche. I mean, it's great. They introduced me to Rap Snacks. They used to call me Rap Snacks Moot. That was great. Coach Parlay, like, great coach on and off the field. It's like uncle to me. So whenever he get on me, I take it in, and then when I'm about to play, I just brush it off. Like, I know I'm good. I know I'm gonna do better. So I take it in and I just do better. So Huncho is gonna be good this year. I'm playing ATU.
You playing ATU?
I'm playing ATU this year.
Oh boy, ain't playing. Okay, so tell me, Prince, right? When you going on 7-on-7, I don't want to say how it shaped your game, but how you think it's made you better, maybe on the field, maybe, you know, when you playing with the pads on. Like, what's differences have you seen since playing kind of 7-on-7?
So 7-on-7 it just slows everything down. There's nobody in front of you to distract you from throwing the ball. So it's just a matter of knowing where to go, knowing your reads, having an IQ of just knowing where to go with the ball. So it slows everything down. So when you get in the real game with pads, it just comes a lot faster. So, like, all the pressure and stuff, that doesn't faze me. I just go through my reads, and if it's not there, I run.
There you go. Okay. All right, man. So what has been maybe your favorite throw that you've thrown in football? You talked about several earlier, but let's just say, like, you know, you scramble out in the pocket, throw off the run. What's been one of your favorite, like, kind of miraculous plays, I should say, maybe in your career?
I kind of had one of those, I say 2 weeks ago in a JV game. I scrambled out the pocket. It was Langston Akeem down the field, probably like 30 yards away. And he was running like an over route, and I just kind of threw the over route over Stacey's head. So that'll probably be one of my favorite routes on the run. As far as stationary, it'll be a go route. In the ball.
Why you like the go route?
I got arm strength.
Now when you throw the go route, do you kind of like you throw it only with, like, where you can get it comes in there, or do you like to kind of like moon the ball a little bit and kind of like let it kind of
It depends. So if it's a guy on his back, I like to throw it over his shoulder, come outside. If it's a guy that's like a safety in front of him, I throw it back shoulder. If he's there by himself, I like the moon ball.
Got you. All right, man. So from this season, right? Obviously, I know you've been backing up Landon Walker, but what's been maybe your favorite moment you've seen with this team, traveling with them, 0-3 start, but you guys bowed through adversity, won a region championship last week. What's kind of been your favorite one?
Kind of just everybody come together as a team. Just really taking in all that adversity, so getting ready for the upcoming weeks. Who do we got? First playoff game. Then we got Coffee. So getting ready for that. Just everybody has to come together as a team and just be prepared. So I say, but my favorite game this season so far would probably be the Garretson game. It was lit. Everybody was there, and I feel like if it wasn't rain, we would have beat them.
Okay, go ahead, Big.
So speaking of Carrollton, man, I gotta ask you. I can't let you off the hook, man. Big game this Friday, and so you can always plead the fifth. I know you probably got some friends on both sides, brother. But you know, what I'm saying DC, or you rolling with Carrollton?
I ain't biased. I'm gonna go with Carrollton.
Why?
I mean, Carrollton, you gotta stop Juju. You gotta stop Peyton. Got to stop
Yeah.
Ryan Mosley. Defense, they got Zealous. They got the DN number 52, but also Douglas County. They got Carrollton has to stop Douglas County run game. Run game is crazy, but also they got to stop Devin Carter, Aaron Gregory, and they also have to do with their quarterback. So it's kind of in the middle, but I feel like with Carrollton having Juju, Carrollton will come out to it.
I ain't gonna probe too much, man. Last question for me, man. When it's all said and done, and you know what I'm saying, Prince graduates, walks across that stage, what's gonna be your legacy that they talk about from Woodward Academy? Not just as an athlete, but also as a person.
Just being a leader on the field, being a great person, making good relationships with people, and me breaking records.
Breaking records. You gonna bring a chip?
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. We wish you nothing but the best, brother. Stay focused, stay locked in, brother, and we'll be talking to you soon, my friend.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. There he goes, man. All right, man. So again, y'all go give him a follow, man. That's Prince Aminu, man. Cool, calm, and collect is one of the vibes I got, man. But we got one more guest for y'all. Greene County don't get a lot of love, but they having a great season, man. Quarterback Landon Garretson's having a phenomenal year. Think he's ready to go, man. Landon, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. I know you've been trying to do this interview for the longest, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. But just walk us through, man. How's everything been, man? What you been up to?
Nothing much. We've just been preparing. You know, we just won against LOA, so we're really preparing for Lincoln County because that's going to be our biggest game. Really, the region championship right here. So, want to win that.
For sure. For you, tell everybody, obviously you came over from Cale. Now you're with Greene County. What were some of those biggest things you had to work on? Not even necessarily work on, but the biggest differences maybe transferring over that you had to get right so that you could be in this position, as you said, to kind of contend and compete for region championship?
Well, I think a lot of it was when I got here. I think that I really focused on getting the receivers. You know, during the summer, I took them and we would go to the field and we would just rep routes after routes because, you know, getting the chemistry down is the biggest thing. So then when in the games, when there's, you know, high pressure moments and I have to scramble out, they know where to go. They know how I can throw the ball, all that type of stuff.
Got you. And talk about a little bit about your playmakers, man. That's making you look good out there. You making them look good. Tell us about some of them playmakers for you.
Yes, sir. So I would say our biggest one would be Steve Miller, which you probably heard a little bit about him. He's a great athlete. We have him. We have a couple other receivers like Tamari Roberts. We have Khalil Dorsey, Denham Harris. They've been doing great, you know, in practice, working, focusing. And then, you know, a big props to our line. Our line has done a great job. We have a great coach, you know, because they're the reason that I can throw the ball, you know, with their blocking. So they've done a great job. You know, Juju Wynn or Kevin Wynn, he's out there too. He'll come out on offense and help block. And then we got RJ Munford too. He'll be out there running flat routes. He's a great athlete. So, yes, sir.
Got you, man. And then speaking of that, man, talk about a little about your head coach. He don't get a lot of love, but Terrence Banks is having a great year. I remember interviewing guys down there in Macon and talking to the team, man. And like I said, y'all having a phenomenal year. But tell me how cool it is to learn from a coach like that just no nonsense, always going at you guys, but it's really paying off for you.
Yeah, no, he's a great coach, and I'm blessed to be there under him because he treats everyone like a person, not just a number on the depth chart. And he really makes sure, you know, that you're good. I go in Mondays and Tuesday mornings and we'll go through, you know, the game plan for the week. He really dives in. It's not just, you know, get out there and, you know, execute on the field for me. He takes it another level, you know, past that and really, really helps us and make sure we're good doing mentally and all that. So he's a great coach.
For you, Landon, why do you think this Greene County team is maybe different from years past, and why they have a chance to potentially be special?
Well, I'd say that I feel like a lot of people last year, they had a great season too. They went like 10-2, I think. But I think a lot of the kids see the potential on this team now, and they really want to put their all into it. And I think that if we can get everyone into it and everyone going, everyone locked in, I think we can really do something special. And same thing with the coaches. I mean, they're doing a great job of keeping everyone on track, because there's a lot of distractions, but they're doing great.
Certainly is. And then Landon, for you, big game last week, probably one of your better games of the season. But let's talk about Lake Coney Academy. 3 touchdown passes. I featured you this past week, I believe, in my top performers. Had to give you a shout out, man. But talk about that performance against them, man, when you lit up that defense, 33 points, and you just out there throwing it, just, out there having a good game.
Yes, sir. No, yeah, we prepared a lot that week because they're the school right down the street, so it's a little bit personal. But we went out there and just did our thing. Having the line, they played great, and then Steve I think he had 2 of my touchdowns, and then the other one was to RJ. Everyone was just really locked in that week, and we just I just played my game, just went out there, no nerves, no nothing, just do what I do.
There you go. Go ahead, Bacon.
For sure, but I gotta throw this in there. Y'all didn't talk about your wheels, brother. You got a touchdown run, averaging 5.7 yards a carry per back express, brother. So just talk about your dual threat ability.
I got a little bit of dual threat. I mean, nothing too crazy. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna run, break for 60 yards, and juke a whole bunch of people. But I'll go pick up a first down, most definitely. If I need it, if I'm dropping back and everything shuts down, I'll go get a first down, and then I might slide, but I'll get the first down.
I understand that, but it's all business at the end of the day, brother. Just walk us through as well what it's like to play at Greene County High School on a Friday night.
I mean, I'd say the biggest thing, definitely coming from like a city school, and with in Cobb County there were so many schools that it's just really parents, teachers, and then kids coming out to the games. But here it's a lot different. You have kids, you have teachers, you have the people in the school, but then you also have like community people that's been in the town. You have police officers that are out there that's been there for a while. I mean, everyone's out there. It's a whole community thing. So it's really great.
For sure. You got who's in your ear by pregame? Like, all right, man, just like when you first got there, like, all right, man, we got a type of reputation here, man. We need you to come in, keep that thing going even.
I mean, I knew my time was coming. I know that God had a plan for me. So I just went in and I didn't put too much pressure on myself. I just went in and kind of just did what I've always done, what I've always been able to do. I just never got a chance to show it. And here I finally did. So it's great.
100%. Kudos to you, my friend. Obviously, we all know the first process is getting to a school. The second thing, especially as a quarterback, is coming in and I guess you could say winning over the locker room. So how did you do that?
Well, I think a lot of it, right when I got there, they welcomed me in, like they welcomed me just like a brother. Like it was like I have always been there. So I think right when I got there, they sort of, they liked me. They needed a leader, a real quarterback to come in there and help push them to the next level. But I'm cool with everyone. I don't make any, rude remarks or anything. I just go out there. I put everyone to work. I make sure we're on the right track, and then we just do our thing.
100%. I want you to break down your leadership style. I've been talking to just a lot of players, a lot of coaches that like, especially today's generation. There's I guess you could say a missing link of just players at times being leaders, but not when it's time to be critical, like coming down like, hey man, we need to do this because this is the grand scheme of things. If we lollygag through these steps, we won't get to our desired destination. So what is your leadership style?
I think my leadership style, I lead a lot by example. I don't do too much talking, but I really try to just go out there and make sure that I have the confidence, because if I have confidence, everyone will feed off of that, and make sure I have the energy, people will feed off that. And then, when we get under the tent and we have a great drive, I try to keep congratulating everyone, especially the line, like I've said, to help push us down the field. But I definitely lead by example. I don't talk too much, but I think just leading by example is a better way to lead, because a lot of people might look as like when you're yelling and you're saying do this, do that, they may look at it as you're trying to boss them around. Some kids can't take that. So I think a lot of it is just trying to lead by example.
I understand that, brother. Just been looking over your Twitter page a little bit this earlier in the day. You really enjoy having fun out there on the field, man. So when you were younger, before you got to middle school and high school, just where did the love for the game come from?
Well, I mean, I always grew up with a ball in my hand. That's what my parents always said. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And then I started playing flag football like kindergarten or something, and it just started with that. And I just always loved it. I was always running around outside and all that. And then I went to middle school and I just played like running back and receiver, or not in middle school, in elementary school. I played running back and receiver. But I really love the game. I don't get too frustrated, especially when, things don't go my way. But yeah, I mean, it definitely comes from just being around it growing up.
I knew there was going to be previous history of running experience.
Yes, sir.
For sure. You talked about not getting too beat up about the game, man. You said it's always been you.
Well, I used to get really antsy about like what the coaches might think if I mess up a play and stuff. But then I really adapted the mindset of like, there was this one kid that came in, he was at Cal, he transferred in at Cal, and he really put it into perspective that like, no matter what, God has a plan and like everything's going to work out. So you don't have to go out there and stress about making a bad throw or throwing a pick or whatever, fumbling the ball. You just go out there and you just play with confidence and play loose, and God's going to work everything out.
For sure. One more question I throw is back to Mr. Wilkins. 7-1, if I'm not mistaken. Are you, from your standards, are you living up to your desired expectations going into this season?
I think I am. We run the ball a pretty good bit more than we pass it. So I would like to pass it a little bit more, but I think wins over stats is probably more important right now. But I definitely think we can do better as a team, starting off quicker and stronger, like right when we get out. Because we started off real slow against LOA. We could have beat them at least 50-14. We just started off real slow. But I think I'm living up to my expectations, and then the team's living up to my expectations too. That's a big reason why I came here, because I knew we could do something like this. Mm-hmm. Playing, our one loss was Morgan County, which they were a great team, but it only made us better playing a team like that. But yeah, I think I'm living up to my expectations.
Actually, one more thing. So what in that Morgan County loss, what have you what did you take with you from that loss that made you get better week by week to this point?
I'd say definitely not just me, but the whole team locking in more in practice, making sure like there's no goofing off or any of that, because that was probably a big reason we lost that game. We also got in our heads a little bit when Morgan started to score. They started to make, our team just lose confidence, and I think that really beat us up that game. But I think what I took from that is to just keep everyone's confidence high no matter what. And then just try to keep pushing them.
Very nice.
For you, Landon, what did you work on the most this offseason in order to kind of fine-tune your game?
I'd say the biggest thing I worked on was the mental aspect of the game, being able to read defenses and all the coverages, post and pre-snap. And then the other thing I worked on pretty heavy was my speed, because I think that's a big – because, a lot of kids can throw the ball down the field and all that. And then, you'll have the occasional people that can just run like Lamar Jackson and stuff like that. But I think that focusing on my speed so I can go pick up those first downs and keep the chains moving was a big piece. And then I worked on my deep ball a little bit too, because I wouldn't say I have the strongest arm, but I can still get the ball down there. I'm very accurate, though, in the short, medium range. I'm very accurate in there. But I worked on the deep ball and running a little bit.
So let me ask you about that, to break down a little bit more. The deep ball, what are some drills people can do, maybe other quarterbacks, if they want to improve that aspect of the game that they can maybe work on?
Well, I worked a lot on just using my legs more than my upper body, because that's where all the power comes in your hips, how the disassociation between your hips and your shoulders, how that can come through and help. And then I just worked on my feet. A lot of times on the deep ball, I would get my base would get too wide when I step, and that would prevent me from being able to come over. And so I worked a lot on that, and that's definitely helped me be able to power the ball further downfield.
Gotcha. Is there anybody, Landon, you like to watch in your free time, maybe YouTube or NFL, college, you like to kind of take different pieces of their game and add it to yours?
I'd say I really like Aaron Rodgers. I like the way he plays. He's not like too cocky or anything, and he doesn't try to do too much like Patrick Mahomes with the sidearm and all that. But I definitely like Aaron Rodgers. He's more of like a prototypical quarterback, and I really like the way he throws the ball.
Gotcha. What advice you would give others, maybe Landon, that are similar to you? That's underrated, but can come in and have a big season. What would you tell them to be able to, put your 10 toes down, go to work, grind every day, so they can kind of achieve some of the success you're having this year?
Well, yeah, I would just say to just shut all the noise out and just go to work, because at the end of the day, if you go out and you do your thing, you'll get the last laugh. And so I think that's like the biggest thing. And to just not let other people's opinion get in your way.
Got you. Now let's talk about this week, Landon. Big game against Lincoln County, right? Don't tell me about none of your players, your game plan, but what stands out about that matchup against them? And what does your team need to do Friday night to come out with a win?
Well, they're a good team. They run a wing T offense, so that'll be a different look that our defense hasn't seen yet this year. So I know our defense is preparing very well, but on the offensive side, we just have to go out and like I said earlier, we have to start really strong. We can't start off slow or anything like that. We got to go score first drive. We need to have explosive runs, and then we need to have explosive pass plays, especially out into the flats and stuff like that. Lincoln likes to blitz a lot. They'll blitz 6 guys. So, we're ready for that, but it'll be a really fun game.
100%. All right, now you talked about the adversity, right? Obviously in the Morgan County game, but you guys have played a pretty, tough schedule. How do you feel like that's maybe helped you guys too? I mean, we come in these important games like Lincoln County and beyond in the playoffs. How does kind of having them stricter or those tougher opponents kind of help you guys?
Well, I definitely say, we played a couple like Miller Grove. We played them, even though we won by a good bit, but they were a team from the city, so they were definitely a tougher team. We played Miller Grove. Laney was a tougher team, and then Morgan. I think that all those 2A schools have helped us like develop a better sense of toughness, not only like physical but mental too. Not getting down when a big play, the other team has a big play, or offense, stalls out or whatever. I think that a lot of that is the mental piece, because we have the talent, we have the physical abilities on the line and the receivers. Same thing with the defense. But I think it's just the mental piece that everyone's been really picking up on, which is great.
Certainly. And then you, Philan, let's talk just a little bit about recruiting before I throw it back to Bacon. What's the latest around that? What are some schools, if there are no offers, what are some schools that's interested in you that have been contacting you a little bit that want you to come to campus?
Yes, sir. So I went over to Mercer, I think like 2-3 weeks ago, which was a great school. And then I'll be going to Southern Charleston this weekend coming up, so that'll be good. Dartmouth has been sending me a couple stuff. So some of the smaller D1 schools, which is perfect. I think that's a great size for somebody like me. But yes, sir.
Certainly. And then just real quick, talk a little bit about maybe Mercer, your visit there. What did you enjoy the most? And then Charleston Southern, is this your first time out there?
Yes, sir. That'll be my first time out there. Okay. And then the Mercer was I really like that college because it's not too big. There's not, it's not an overly, like there was only maybe 3 quarterbacks, 4, I think I saw. So it's not like the depth chart is just filled up with 7 different quarterbacks like it would be at like a bigger school like Auburn or something like that. But definitely getting into a school like that, and at the atmosphere too, it was really good. It was a great atmosphere, especially for school size.
Got you. And then real quick, talk about Charleston Southern, just the relationship you building with the QB coach, offensive coordinator in the program over there.
Yes, sir. So we've been sending in film to a whole bunch of different recruiters from a whole bunch of different schools. Elon invited me out too, but that's a little bit of a drive, so we may hold off on that.
Just give him a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure he'll come right back in. I was like, is it me? Am I present?
Appreciate the 119 that's tuned in, man, on Bacon Network, LLC on X. Y'all got 44 on my Twitter account. Y'all got 74, man. And on Bacon's YouTube, he got a viewer in there as well, man. So we appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Appreciate it.
Man, with the analytics, man, we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It's it's only up from here.
Yes, sir. All right, hold on. He just sent me a message. Oh, he says computer just died. All right, so we're gonna wait. Try to get him back. But we're gonna just chop it up real quick until we get him back here at the bottom. But Bacon, what's just your overall thoughts, real quick? We're gonna talk to him a little bit more before we let him go for the night. But just what's your overall thoughts, real quick, and any quick topics in football you want to talk about before he comes back?
Any quick topics in football? I think we got to talk about. It's past time to talk about Jaden Daniels, man. I think he may be the solidified number 2 quarterback with your Bengals. I'm saying taking a nosedive this season. So,
dang, bro, why you gotta do my team like that, man?
Hey, man, it's all about it's behind you, brother.
Your Falcons, bro. I ain't say nothing about your Falcons. Come on, man.
Falcons is up.
That ain't right, man. That ain't right. Don't do my team like that. Don't do my team like that.
I just analyze it, brother. You know what I'm saying? When the Falcons is down, you can.
I ain't do the Falcons like that.
You did when we lost 28-3.
Hey, y'all blew that. That's y'all fault. You know what I'm saying? That's your fault. I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't say too much else. I'm gonna just say that's your fault.
So what's going on with y'all?
It's a combination of multiple things, man. Like at home, they've only forced 4 punts all year. I mean, you're not gonna win games like that. You know what I'm saying? Defense just can't get stopped. They're giving them like 30, 32, 35 points per game at home. On the road, they look better. And then offensively, they're just too simplistic. Like when T. Higgins don't play, they can barely move the ball and put it in the end zone. It's just things like that not going to cut it. And then they just don't run the ball enough to me. I know it's a pass-centric, pass-happy offense, but you got to get your guys going. Like you got to run different formations. I know Burrow is that guy. I know, but let the man heat up. Let him get in a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It's just too simplistic to me.
Nah,
and then it's the momentum. Like you go on what was that? A 10-minute drive during the first quarter. You up 7-0. It's going well. You cooking with grease. You know what I'm saying? 7-0. They're struggling offensively. You got to it's just like this year, it's just no knockout punch. You got to knock them out. Like, go on that drive, you're up 10-3, go knock them, go do 17-3. That's a totally different game. You know what I'm saying? Or, then you got Evan McPherson missing the 50-yard field goal. That would have made it 13-3. Then all the momentum from that just shifted. They outscored us 34-7 at that point. It's just things like that, man. It just seems like they're pressing. These don't seem like the same team.
Which surprises me, man. Y'all just let go. Y'all let what's the running back's name? Joe Mixon go. You know what I'm saying? I'm ecstatic that Jesse Bates is in a different uniform, but it's like y'all let the head go with the hide, man. If I got any country folk watching.
Here you go, man. Here you go. You just gonna keep throwing shots, huh?
I'm trying to get intel from you, brother. You the Bengals fan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they wanted to go cheaper. You can't keep them all. I mean, obviously, I understand that, but
Cowboys.
I don't know. They got to figure something. You got to pay somebody. You got to pay Trey Hendrickson. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay Jamar Chase. You got to pay T. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You can't let everybody walk. You got to stop being cheap. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But I think Landon's back, man. So we're gonna finish out with him, or we can finish out our dialogue.
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of an issue with the computer.
No worries. It happens, man.
Yeah.
But I think you left off, Landon. I think you were talking about Charleston Southern. You were talking about the relationships you was building. I think that's where you left off.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we've been sending a lot of different. Me and my dad have been sending a lot of different films and just a bunch of different messages to different coaches and recruiters, and we're just trying to build those relationships so that we can get the invites to these games and try to get myself out there a little bit more.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Bacon.
I mean, I noticed you didn't talk about the Wolves, man, in West Georgia. I think you went on a game day visit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. We didn't go on the game day visit. We had something that weekend, but we've been there. Or we're planning to go. We're gonna go to one of these coming up before the season ends. But yes, sir, they've been interested too.
All right. So what do you? I know you talked about this. You like the small D1 school vibes, but specifically, I know you haven't been on campus, but you may have heard things through the vine about West Georgia. What draws you to West Georgia?
Well, we went there. I think it was my freshman year and my sophomore year at Cal. We went there for the FCA camp, and I definitely like that campus, and I like the way that the coaches, coach there. I know one player that goes there. He's a kicker, but he said he's really liked West Georgia and just the way that they treat all their players. And, like I said before, there's not a big quarterback room or anything like that. And it's not too far from home, so.
There you go, brother. Definitely, West Georgia holds a special place in my heart. I went there in my last 2 years of college, man. So when you stop by down there, make sure you stop by G-Town Wings, man. You get some whatever type of wing you want, brother. But
always talking about some food.
Hey, man, everybody knows about G-Town and West, brother. But being a young man playing high school football, being a high school athlete, just how is it dealing with, social media and everything else? We know it's a positive thing, but just how are you dealing with it?
I mean, I'm not too active on social media. But aside from Twitter, and I don't talk to too many people, so I just kind of focus on football and go to school, handle my business in the classroom, and then go out, practice, and then come home. So, I keep it simple, and I think that just keeps me out of a lot of the extra stuff that goes on social media and all that trash talking and all that foolishness. So I just stay clear of all that.
Most definitely, man. I think that's high key. I think in times of solitude, I ain't gonna say solitude, but just when you're more in tune with self, it's better on growth. You better, you hit your goals, I think, faster because you're focused on self. So would you agree to that statement?
Yes, sir. I would definitely agree to that.
So what is your day-to-day process like? Are you an early riser? You hit the gym before school?
So we lift during school, but during the off season, I'll wake up and I would run hill sprints and then I'd lift before I go to school. But during the football season, I wake up, have a good breakfast, go to school. I have my first period, then we'll lift. And then I'll have my last 2 periods, and then we'll go into like a film it's like a film and a walkthrough kind of session. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go out to the field and then do our stuff on the field.
100%. Another off the field question, brother. I know you'll be a senior next year. Have you put any thoughts into what your major would be? I know it's early, and if you don't know, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I've been thinking about like construction management or something in that kind of area. I definitely want to do something outside or like working with machines or something because I can't really sit at a desk for too long. So
construction deals with a lot of math. Are you a solid mathematician?
Well, I mean, I'm okay. I'll be using a calculator though.
No shame in that, brother. No shame in that. So, what do you do outside of ball? Like when you're relaxing, having fun, you kick it with some friends, you play, hopping on the sticks, read books.
I don't really play video games too much, but so I'll be outside. I like to fish, ride dirt bikes, stuff like that. So I'll try to be outside as much as I can. But
so what's the biggest fish you ever caught?
Say that again.
What's the biggest fish you ever caught?
Oh, the biggest fish? It would probably a catfish. It was like a 30. I think one time I caught like a 30-pound catfish. It was big.
30?
Yeah.
Crazy.
They're big. Like we live kind of near a lake, and there's some monster catfish in this lake.
You scale it and gut it, so you know how to clean it and prepare it.
Oh yeah, I've done that before. My parents don't like me doing it too much, not in the kitchen, but I enjoy it.
That's tough. So how often are you on the dirt bike during the season?
Well, my coach definitely wouldn't want to hear it, but like during the weekends, I'm on it all the time. I'm running.
I love it, bro. Balls to the wall. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you like? Who's your inspiration to drive? Is it Travis? Who else is riding bikes these days?
Well, I don't really ride them. Like I don't race them or jump them or anything like that.
Wow.
But I'll ride around and then just through trails and stuff like that. I just do it for fun. Nothing serious. Yeah.
For sure. Favorite artist right now that you listen to pregame?
Pregame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a favorite artist. Usually we let we have like 2 big speakers in our locker room, and we'll just let one of the kids connect to it, and they'll be playing their stuff. But usually I'll listen to like either so normally I'll go like with some Lil Baby a little bit before the game during the day. But then right before the game, I have like one song that like gets me really locked in, and it's a Christian song called Waymaker. I listen to that just because it just keeps my mind for me to remember that, like God's in control no matter what happens on the field. God's got the wheel. So
100%. Just talk a little bit about that as well. I think that doesn't get enough shine. It's just the belief and how much does that really calm you, you know what I'm saying, in a heat of battle, or just a heat of, I guess you say pressure, adversity, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say a lot of people can get nervous during the games, just, scared to mess up. But when you know that no matter what, even if you do mess up, that God's plan is still going to work out. Even if you have the worst game of your life, if you throw a million picks and you fumble the ball and you play awful, no matter how bad you play, that God's plan it'll still prevail because no one can stop his plan, not even you.
I'm saying how important do you think the belief in God is just to you, and how much I'm trying, I think I worded it the wrong way. So I just ask you this: how much do you think your belief in God has helped you to this point in your life?
Oh, I'd say it's helped me all the way, because he wakes me up every day and gives me the opportunity to go do this. So like working out and training, that's not like oh, I have to do this. It's like I get to do this. I get to go to practice every day, because there's a lot of kids that are sitting on wheelchairs right now or in hospital beds that would die to be working out or have the opportunity that I have. So I think that's got me to where I am right now.
100%, man. Before I give it back to Naj, man, you gotta bless us with something that you've been meditating on, your devotional scripture or something, brother.
I'd say let's see. I'd say just making sure, like, there's a story about God, like there was 2 sons, and one of them like went off. Their dad gave them each a bunch of money. One of them went off and partied his whole life, smoked, did all this bad stuff, and then the other son stayed true to his father. He stayed, like, they lived on like a farm, and so he stayed true to his father. He helped him on the farm and all that. And then one day the son came back. The son who was partying, he came back to his father. The father welcomed him back with open arms and welcomed him back right into the family. They had a big meal prepared for them whenever he came back and all that. And I think that is very important for some kids that have gone down the wrong path, just so they know that no matter what, that God is always going to welcome you back into his arms, no matter what you've done in your past.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of the prodigal son. Sure. Go ahead, Nash.
All right, man. A couple more, Landon. We'll let you get out of here, man. You got to go and study and everything, man. So for you, Landon, in your opinion, what can media members or just media out there do for guys like yourself and others just to be able to kind of create a bond, a relationship, or just help you guys more get out there so colleges can help see you?
I think that doing what you're doing, like these interviews like this, write-ups on kids, and making individual tweets, or even just sending it out to different coaches that they may know personally just from being in this business. I think that can help kids a lot, get their name out there, especially if you go to a smaller school, because the coaches might not know as many people. So having people like you guys definitely helps.
Gotcha, man. And then for you, let's go to favorite memory that you've had on the gridiron that you're always going to remember.
Oh, my favorite memory? That's a hard one. I don't know. I think my favorite memory would be probably, it would go back to middle school. In middle school, our team was not very good at all. I think we won 2 games my whole middle school career. So, but I think my best memory was when we won that first game. We won 34-0, and we were all so excited. I'd say that would probably be my best memory.
Love to see it, man. And then for those that don't know about Greene County, talk about the great community, the great coaching staff, just the great people around you guys. What can people expect from this Greene County, this team going forward?
Well, I think that you can expect that no matter who we play, no matter if we end up playing like Bowden or Manchester in the first round, whatever it may be, I think that you can expect us to give 100%. We're gonna lock in during practice. You can expect us to come out there and give it our best shot. We're not gonna, bow down and just take a loss for anybody.
Gotcha. And last one, I'm gonna play in a recruiter's chair, just as far as a coach. All right, Landon, we really like your talent. We like what you can do and potentially provide for your team. Tell me, Landon, why should we take a chance on you? What can you provide to our program that no other recruit can?
Well, I'd say my biggest thing would be my leadership, leading by example, making sure, I stay, like I said earlier, I kind of stay out of the way. So I make sure I can keep kids on track. And I like to work a lot, get a lot of extra work. So I can get them out, get extra work with them in, and push them to be better. And then in terms of like on the football field, I'd say my ability to have pre and post snap reads and being able to execute very well with that helps. And then, the ability to scramble and throw on the run is probably my best physical talent, because when the pocket breaks down and you got to get out and you got to make an off balance throw, I can do that very well. So I'd say those are my biggest things.
Gotcha. Before we let you go, Landon, anybody you want to shout out, parents, team, or any last closing comments you got for us?
Obviously, God, number one. And then my mom and dad, because they pushed me to be where I am right now in terms of school and on the field, and just pushed me to be a better kid in general. And then my coaches, Ron Veal, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's helped me. He trained me up since elementary school, and then all the way before I left Marietta. So him, Dave Warner is another guy. He lives down here. He's a great coach. He's been working with me. And then probably just all my teammates, obviously, putting in effort all the time. Coach Banks is a big one, because he took a shot on me. Even when a lot of people doubted me, he took the shot on me. And then all the kids that went out of their way to try to go find another kid, at my old school, and the coaches there, because I remember that, and it just pushes me to prove them all wrong.
For sure. And then, Landon, tell people how they can find you on X.
Well, you can search me up, Landon Garretson 10. I'm on there, and same thing on Instagram, so you guys can find me on there.
All right, there you have it, man. Landon Garretson, man, having a great year for Greene County, man. Appreciate you coming on. Tell us a little about yourself and the great team you got down there, man. Good luck Friday night against Lincoln County.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir. All right, guys, there he goes, man. So that's the latest, man. Appreciate him coming on, man. We've been trying to get one for the longest. Couple days on Friday. Just Friday is so hectic for me, so kind of tough to do that. But I did want to give him a little bit of shine and bring him on here, man. So enjoy talking to the young man and love what he's doing, and wish him nothing but the best. Definitely try to have him back on here soon.
100%, man. Anytime you got a kid around and in faith, that speaks a lot to, what I'm saying. This is who they are as a person, what I'm saying, their makeup, their character, even it spills over into their work ethic, because nobody wants to be slothful, lazy, and that's a big thing when it comes to what I'm saying, just being a Christian. So shout out to Landon, man. So, brother, man. What's your thoughts, brother?
I think he's a great kid, man. I enjoyed. Like I already had a lot of respect for him. I have even more after learning and getting to know him, and I'm saying, a little bit more in detail. I know he always sends me his stuff. Like I said, I be telling people all the time. That's why I like doing that underrated overlooked segment. Kids hit me up all the time, man. Just, hey man, check out my film, or hey man, I got this. So I just love being able to give them the spotlight, man. And I do want to say this, and I don't want to come for anybody in the industry. Everybody does a great job of what they do. I do want to remind some people, though, right? I know sometimes these kids are not highly rated. You never know who's the next star, man. You know what I'm saying? You just using a little bit or doing a little bit, doing a post on a kid, a video, a picture. You just don't know what that can mean to that kid, man, or help them out. You don't know what they're going through in their life. So I encourage those, especially with bigger platforms than I have. I don't have a very big platform, but I try to use it to help out other people and push them. I know I have a lot of college coaches that follow me, scouts, recruits, yada yada. I just try to push them out, and it doesn't matter. I know I write for Georgia Tech. I know I work for Score Atlanta and Georgia High School Sports Daily, but I just try to put them kids out there, man, because if you're not gonna do, a lot of people aren't. So I just tell people with big platforms, do that for the kids, man. It's not always about going after the big fish, the 4 and 5 star. And you'll see kids like Landon and Prince before he blows up, and several others. They'll really enjoy it, and they're always gonna remember that. You know what I'm saying? What you did for them. I think sometimes we lose sight of that, chasing the big fish, and I think they appreciate it more.
100%, man. At all the times, it's not always about that 30-pound catfish, man. Sometimes it's about that half a pound brim. You know what I mean? Tastes just as good with a little season, a little hot sauce, brother.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's about, man. That's what we try to do. But Beg, we got about 10 minutes, man. So how we wrapping up the show today?
I know we was talking football. You want to talk You want to talk a little bit about basketball. You want to go back to football.
DC Carrollton. We might get clipped messing around.
Hey man, I'm just gonna keep it a buck, brother. Carretson, Douglas County, man. It's gonna be a good game. I've reached out about media passes. I haven't heard anything back, but I think we're gonna be in the number. I reached out Sunday, and I'm sure some people have probably reached out before then, but just know Bacon is definitely putting his ticket. But just to get down to business, Douglas is gonna be riding in hot. You know, Jordan Carter and Gregory, they just committed to Texas A&M, coming off some big wins. Same thing with Carrollton. You know what I'm saying? I was at Carrollton this past weekend. Every time I go to Carrollton, it was a band function. And parents like, man, people come up there. Yeah, it was a band function. Parents at the top of the roof. I'm recording. Like, man, you heard about that? It's like, man, you heard about that quarterback? I heard it reclassified.
Yeah, man.
Where y'all at, bro? But both teams are gonna come in, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of energy. Just gonna come to who can execute the most. And right now, man, I think Carrollton's gonna execute the most, just being honest, but I will not be surprised if Douglas County won, but it's gonna come down to if they can be explosive in that passing game, man. I think for Douglas County, I think James Johnson is gonna be a big X factor. Obviously playing on both sides. He's you know what I'm saying, he's gonna make somebody I'll say this, he's either gonna force a turnover or he's gonna catch a big pass during that game. But I think you want to look for him to be more of an impact on defense. If he's making a big impact on defense, Douglas is gonna be a team that's gonna be there towards the end of the game to, you know what I'm saying, go for the upset.
Yeah, I think the same. I think it's going to be important. I mean, he doesn't really get rattled, but what kind of game can Jordan Carter have? We know how elite he is. 3 tackles for loss this past week. Can he affect the game? Can he be a game wrecker? That's kind of the key there. I was telling Texas A&M fans that, like, you're getting this really a superstar. I think on the next level, you think Nick Score, think of a kind of a bigger, stronger, maybe Nick Score for the future if you're with the Aggies, potentially going forward. So what kind of effect can he have on the game is my key. Can they speed up Juju? Can they force him into a couple of mistakes? Then that's going to be key. They got a really good secondary, I think. When you look at Douglas County with Jamar Owens on the back end, also got James Johnson who plays both sides. So this is a team that if you're not careful when you're throwing them tight windows, they can force you to some mistakes. So that's going to be key. And how can they slow down Kamari Farmer, Messiah Satterwhite, some of those playmakers, Ryan Mosley, who's blowing up, 4-star, getting a lot of buzz, Bama, Georgia, several Power 5, Power 4 programs. So I think that's going to be key there, man. But the good thing for DC, you got it at home. You got it at your Palace. They got to come in there and take it from you. So they've been really good there. Only one loss to Buford there. Can they close it? That'd be a big game for them. And think about this. All the games all the way through the semifinals will have to come to DC if they win.
100%. And I think and also another headline to look at, man, Coach King coming in, highly regarded as probably the best coach in all of GHSA, taking on Coach Johnny White, who I feel like is a very underrated coach. But, you know, Coach Joey's going to come in with those Coach Joey specials, either via run on fake punt, going for it on 4th down or something. But I think Coach White, if you've been watching the what's that series that got Phenom, They're basically Jordan Carter, Aaron Gregory, the whole Douglas County day in their life. If you've been watching those and keeping up with that, you know what I'm saying, you've seen how fiery Coach Johnny White is in those locker rooms. So they will definitely be very prepared. So just watching the X and O's match of the coaches is definitely going to be something I'm going to be glued in on. But if you have anything else to say about the Douglas and Carrollton game, we can transition into what's going to be the big game on Thursday. Jonesboro versus Stars Mill at Jonesboro at Terrell Stadium on Terrell Street at Hines Ward Field.
Yeah, it's a huge game, man. We'll get into that. Stars Mill, really good, 9-0. Logan Inagwa is very underrated, similar to kind of how Landon Garretson is. Does a lot of things. I think he's a big play guy, man. He's just, whenever they need a big play, you're always throwing it. A really underrated group of Stars Mill, but always well coached. Very good camaraderie. Jaden Stringer's another guy they got on that side is pretty good. They got some guys that can play for Stars Mill. A lot of people be sleeping on. So I can't wait to see what they're able to do. Jonesboro got a lot of athletes. Lucius Murray carrying the load in the backfield. They got a lot of young freshmen stepping up for them. Kamarian Carter stepping up. They got some guys that is coming up big for them this year that don't get necessarily a lot of buzz, but it's going to be ones to watch after this 26 class leaves. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they perform, but a big game for both teams.
100%, man. I believe you. I know we both seen Jonesboro play, but I think you may know a little more about Stars Mill. I believe they've been surrendering a lot of points on defense. Just who are you giving the edge to in this matchup?
It's tough to say. I mean, I say out the gate, I probably give a little bit to Stars Mill. They've played some decent teams so far. Central Carrollton's a pretty good one. Whitewater, can't sleep on them. They're a pretty good opponent as well. But I would give a slight edge to them just with how good their offense has been this year. It's tough to stop in the last couple of games. They've only given up 13 points in 2 games. So a lot that they can do. They can run the ball. They can throw it. Lincoln Delaire is having a good year for them as well. Got to give him a shout out. They can run it with Potter on the ground, 655 yards rushing. They got some pieces, man. So it's not going to be easy. Jonesboro's going to have to be disciplined. They do have a really good bunch, but they're going to have to stay disciplined. And then, don't let Logan leak out, man, because if he does, he can make you pay.
I mean, it's still got some athletes on the outside. You know what I'm saying? They did lose Jamar, but they still have Cortez, and you can't forget about John Tavis Wyman, who always seems to make a highlight every week. So he's gonna have to stay clear of those young men.
100%. It's gonna be a good one.
You got a prediction? Score prediction? High 30s, low 20s, mid 20s, teens.
Probably mid 20s.
Mid 20s. So what's your expectation if you see a Jeremiah Ticket get like 10 carries and they can control that clock?
I think that'll be key. I mean, you want to keep the ball away from them, control the game, you know what I'm saying, and kind of take away some possessions.
100%. I also wanted to shout out Kawhi Felder. Not a lot of people may not know about him. A big offensive lineman, as you can see, 6'4", 300+ pounds for Carrollton. I believe he's the backup for Zakai. I believe it's backup for Zakai. So, but you may see him get some burn. What's his number? I can shout him out. You may see him get some burn, a lot more burn this weekend. I think it's 51. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. They got a lot of good pass rushers over there in Douglas, so we may see him get featured more. So again, his name is Kawhi Felder. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely try to get him on here at some point between the season before it ends or during the off season to get him on here. Let him bring him on here and let him speak his piece. So stay tuned for that. So if you don't have anything else, Naj, you know what I'm saying, we can send the people off real early, real smooth, and let them enjoy the rest of their night.
Sounds good to me, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Once again, the game is free. Another episode, man. Again, we're going to have our basketball coming up here in another week or so. We're going to have some really good guests, man. Prep Sports Nation. We'll be talking, obviously, to Rod Digital, the basketball savant himself, with just a whole bunch of toolage of just knowledge on the game, man. He teaches it. He coaches it. I've learned quite a few things from him, so we're going to try to get him on here pretty soon, talk to him a couple of times, see Bacon smiling, so know how much that means to him, man. But, yeah, man, we just probably going to do an hour show. Same thing the kind of Tuesday. Tuesday will probably just be an hour show, kind of how we did here, about an hour 15 at the most. talking to players, couple, football topics here, discussing maybe some of the biggest matchups and things like that, similar to basketball. Probably covering different things like that, man. But that's all the time. We appreciate you tuning in. 171 people total tuned in, man. So special shout out to y'all. 54 on Bacon's X. Also had 116 on my X channel, and then a couple on our YouTube handles as well, tapping in. But before we go, Bacon got one more thing to close this out.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tapped into the OTE scene, if you're not, you definitely need to. But coming up soon, we will have Cole Rosario blowing up. Just won the King of the Court, beat Eli Ellis during the King of the Court session, and almost won the dunk contest at OTE. Brother almost did a self alley bounce spin, put it between his legs. I almost put that down. That's something crazy. So we will have Cole Rosario on, put up 30 against the Boozer Twins. Just got recognized for that. Even put in the top 100. But we feel I watched some film. You know what I'm saying? The top 60 on ESPN's 2026. He's definitely top 20. I think right top 30, right behind Caden Allen. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be a major banger of a show. So stay tuned for that. It'll be going live in a couple weeks. So you definitely do not want to miss that. So definitely stay tuned to Nigel Wilkins, and you know you gotta stay tuned and tapped into the Bacon Network.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. That's all the time we got. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We out. Peace. Right.
We still live?